basically a primary key defines your record. Okay, I mean to say, if you want any information for that customer, you need one key to identify it. That is what your primary key. Got it? So like you have Aadhaar ID for a customer, then you have Aadhaar ID to be defined as your primary key. Then you have your name, all other things. Okay. So what about if you do not have Aadhaar ID? Before Aadhaar ID, what will be your unique combination to create record? I mean to identify a person. Any idea?
Maybe a phone number, Naga?
Yes, before phone number. Phone came 10 years back. Okay,
Some
fine.
enrollment number. Enrollment
Okay,
number.
basically, yeah. So basically, I have it's a common name across the globe. I mean, some names like Sunil, Varun, or Raghav, it's a regional name. It will be common, or some in case of Arabic countries like Muhammad is a common name. So you cannot create a primary key based on the name. Here you see you have a customer ID defined. Okay, so customer ID is there, customer name is there. So customer ID is nothing but whatever you ID you generate. If I don't have this guy, I have only name. So the names are so common everywhere. So how you can distinguish that one? It's like, just give me a minute. I will drop this guy again. Drop table. Okay, what I'm trying to explain here is the purpose of primary key. So I have a name, a customer address, phone number, Aadhaar. Now you, in case of even a person have multiple phone numbers, how to handle it? I hope everyone has 2 to 4 phone numbers. So can you repeat the record? No, right? Okay. Questions about? Please think now. What is the primary key is like? A primary key should identify a record in a table. If you want a uniqueness to be maintained in your table, that key should be identify that particular record. Once you give that primary key, then that record is for that. There is no duplication. It is a unique key as well internally. Okay, that is the definition of your primary key. So in case of customer name, what you need to do is like, you need to have uniqueness, but you cannot have a unique name for the customer. It will repeat. So you need to add two possible combination, combine these two columns. He cannot be, I mean, a person from same street does not have same name. Okay, you need to find such a combination, then you create a primary key. I hope somewhat little bit confusing. Let me create and show it to you. So here, instead of ID, I will replace customer name. John is there. Let it be. Here the order doesn't matter, since I have mentioned customer name here. This is the thing. Okay, I'll copy this guy, put it over here. I'll put same date of birth. Now you see guys, John Kumar London. John is London and Kumar is from Bangalore. Okay, now I can have another Kumar from Bangalore. Okay, so what makes me to create a unique key over here is, I mean, if I use the primary key, okay, I cannot have another Kumar here. So I will create a combination. I just for now understanding, there can be multiple Kumar. So you find a combination from your table that makes you unique. So Kumar and Bangalore. I can create a combination of these two and create it as a primary key. Now I say like I created a primary key here, customer name as primary key. Drop a constraint, create table. I've created as a primary key. So there is no difference once you create a primary key, no difference in the table structure and all. It's same. When I insert a value, I insert Kumar. Sorry. Here I say like Naga. Right. Okay, now you have a Kumar and Naga. Now imagine there is another Naga comes into place, and he is from Mumbai. Here I need to change. This says like violation of primary key constraint, cannot insert a duplicate key in object. Okay, so basically you need to have a primary key that defines if he is from, I mean, just imagine instead of this customer, you imagine as an employee. Okay, employees, you can have names as a unique values, and if you say that employee, say for example in this session we have 8 people have a unique name, no confusion at all. But if someone is having a name called Ganesh is joining from Kuwait, Ganesh is joining from India. So what makes them unique? Location, Ganesh from Kuwait and Ganesh from India. So you need to distinguish Ganesh based on the location. So you will combine these two location, I mean a name and a location as your primary key. That makes your unique value to identify a row. Okay, simply a primary key, usually you think like only one column is considered as a primary key using a name. Now if a username has different values like this, Abdullah, all other things, then no issues. But in practical world, okay, Abdullah Kumar, now you have inserted. Now that is why people always have a customer ID generated. Got you? So in irrespective of location, all these possible combinations I need to create. Instead of that, what I will do is I will create ID for you, customer ID. Then I will generate it as a primary key. Okay. So that will identify me individual record. So this is your primary key concept. Now let me tell you what I'm trying to explain. The customer ID. So there is no records. Guys, I think damn silent. You are there? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Any confusion, guys? Are you getting the point what I'm trying to convey? Any confusion? No? You got what is the purpose of primary key? Now you see, I have created a primary key here. 1, 2, 3. So now instead of saying if I have Abdullah here, it should be Abdullah from Bangalore. Maybe
Now the primary key is like verifying it in another table, right? Like that is foreign key or primary key?
See, now I am trying to insert 4. Okay, let me. No, wait. Guys, as I told, I have 3 Abdullahs here. Okay. So what makes you to differentiate from this Abdullah to I have if I created a customer ID as a primary key, I will have a logic to generate this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will give this customer ID to the Abdullah. Always if you come back to my store, you give me customer ID or you swipe in using your card. That card is tagged with customer ID. So all billings will be against this Abdullah. So I don't confused with this Abdullah, that Abdullah. I'm at least bothered. Okay. So you need to generate a primary key to identify a record. So this 4 is your Abdullah Bangalore. It doesn't matter whoever Abdullah here it is. Okay. That is the main purpose of your primary key. How you will create based on the combinations you choose, or new customer they come, they create a new record that will have auto incremented values that I will explain it later. So this is your primary key. Now I say 4, he is Abdullah Bangalore. Even Abdullah can be from Kuwait, but which differs him, Aadhaar card differs him. So it doesn't matter how many Abdullahs, whatever data they have. I mention only the primary key. So primary key purpose is to identify a record in a table. Okay, any doubts?
Is primary key always unique, or you need to
Yes.
specify unique?
Yes, that is why I asked a primary key. Praveen, when Praveen answered, he said like primary key is used to identify a table record and it is unique. Then I asked what is the difference? That is why he can't able to answer. So this is nothing but the difference between your unique and primary key. Primary key is not a unique. You cannot switch between both. I want a unique value. Whether I can have a multiple primary keys in a table? No, not at all. You can have a single primary key in a table that defines a record. Okay, you can have a multiple unique constraint. Say for example, Aadhaar I have a unique and phone number I have a unique. Instead of default, I can also have a unique phone number. Okay, so multiple unique key constraints can be applicable, meaning like unique is for a particular column and your primary key is for the entire table.
Yeah.
So this is what guys, the main constraints and primary key, all those things. So foreign key, we will take it tomorrow. Already we are 10 minutes over time. So with this, we'll stop. Today we focus on foreign key. And before heading to foreign key, so what are these things says like it is used to implement a data integrity. So what is says data integrity? So the definition says like it is used to maintain some data consistency or relation between the data like that. So the definition is like here. So it refers to accuracy and consistency of data. See the consistency in the sense once you have a primary key and your check constraints, so your data will be consistent. Otherwise, you miss some kind of rules if not imposed. Say for example, someone who doesn't have any age limit, whoever applied for college, then you will allow them to apply for the college. It is wrong. So you are imposing certain rules so that your data is accurate and your data consistency of your data is maintained. That is what a data integrity means. Okay. So there are different types of data integrity. Domain integrity is all these things used to create for a column, particular column. And entity integrity. Entity is nothing but for your table. For entire table, you are maintaining a primary key. Then foreign key that just now I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain next. So referential integrity. So these are some kind of integrities, data integrities that you can able to achieve only in the database. All these things are challenging features in your file systems. Okay. So with this note, let us move on to foreign key. So we saw about these things like yesterday. We have constraints, all these constraints: primary key, not null, unique, age limit check, and everything default. So whether this table exists because I worked on something might be deleted. So we have data. So customer John London, this is the guy. And I try to refresh yourself. I just trying to give you some fix over here. I mean, this queries will throw error, and you guys have to answer it. Okay. So this contains one record. I'm going to insert another record now. So this is also done. So two records. Now you just see the constraints once. Okay, quickly. So address is not null, phone number is unique, age is greater than 18, gender is by default to you. So these are the constraints I have. Now this guy fix the issue by changing respective value. When I run this one, I will get an error. So what it says?
Age
Any
17.
guess?
17.
Age. So 17.
17.
So this throw an error. So let us give it as 19. Okay. Now we try to execute. Now done. Okay. So again, so this record will be inserted. Now fix the issue by looking at the value itself. We can say violation of unique key constraint. That is insertion of duplicate object, duplicate key values 987. That is your phone number. Phone number here it is repeated. So I put phone number already here. This guy already there. Same phone number. When I try to insert, it is throwing me error. So this is kind of integrity, data integrity you are imposing. I just change it to 9, something else. Done. Okay. Now I have this customer table, guys. Customer ID and name, customer address, phone number, age, and gender. Okay. Now, what is a referential or foreign key? What is the purpose of foreign key? Is that you need to ensure that whoever is the actual customer, those entries only should be available in the other table, or those valid customers should be allowed to enter in the table. So that is why you impose certain rule. Whichever is a foreign key here, he should be the primary key here. This guy should be the foreigner of another table. Okay, that is the rule you are trying to impose, so that your data is again maintained in the integrity manner. So I have another table. Say for example, I have a purchase table here. Okay, so this is a customer, and I'm having a purchase table. Like you are going to a supermarket, purchasing some items. Okay, so what I do is like I need to track a bill that will generate a bill. Now you have this customer is nothing but all those guys. Okay, over here, customer name. So I don't need to maintain the same information over here in the customer purchase table. Just I will refer the customer ID. Then whoever purchases in that particular bill, I can refer its location, phone number from another table. That is customer table, customer constraint table. This is the customer constraint table. So whatever you are seeing here is nothing but your customer constraint table. I'm going to create the new table, customer purchase, okay, with the customer ID referencing to the customer constraint customer ID. Let me create it. Okay, I already created it. Okay, so I'm trying to insert the records. It was affected. Now let's see both the tables together. Select star from customer constraint. Select star from customer purchase. Now you can see from this table. So this is the customer master table, which is having customer information. And this is nothing but your assume it is something like serial number, line number. In each bill you have some number. So what it says, like this John, one indicates John purchased biscuit, paste and bottle, and he purchased 2 quantities of biscuit, and which is having a unit price of 20, and paste 60 rupees, bottle 60 rupees. So these 3 rows belongs to John. Okay, next 2 rows belongs to Abdullah, and these 3 rows belongs to Kumar from Bangalore, not from Chennai. Okay, now this is a customer ID having a primary key here, unique information, that is for single record per, single record per customer. This particular row identifies this customer, but here it is repeating. Okay, so from this you can see like foreign key can be having duplicate, or it can have multiple values, foreign key, correct? Now, what is the main advantages of having a foreign key? As I said before, you cannot have a customer ID 5 here, okay, in this purchase table, okay, without having information in the customer master table. So let us try to insert a customer ID 5 in this table, okay. Then let's see what is the issue happening. I say like customer 5, okay, he is purchasing biscuit, let it be 3 items, 5 biscuits he is purchasing. When I try to insert it, it says like the insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constraint. The conflict occurred in the database, okay, in the particular column customer ID. So what it does is that each time when you try to insert a customer ID foreign key column, it goes and checks in this particular table, customer contract, that is primary key, whether that value exists or not. It does something like a check constraint. Okay, it is like checking each time when you do an insert whether that value already exists in the primary key table. So let us select this guy once again. Now you do not have a 5 here. You can't able to insert unless you have a value in this customer master table. So let us insert customer ID 5 here. Then we will try to insert here. Then what happens? We'll check. So I will take customer master, customer control. I will have as I will put it under Deepak from Chennai. His number is 67890 and his age is 32. Let's insert him. Now what happens? Now we have a new customer here, okay, Deepak. And now when I try to insert in the purchase table, he purchased, customer ID 5, purchased biscuit 5, and each cost to 20. Now I insert. Now it got inserted. Now you got it, guys. So without having master information created, you can't do the transaction. Okay, that is what the main purpose of foreign key. So why we need to impose all these rules? To maintain the data integrity. Okay, so that your system will be consistent. This is the thing. Any doubts, guys, in this? Hello.
The first one, John,
No, no.
Abdullah, Kumar, are from
Yeah.
customer constraint or customer constraint,
Customer
right?
constraint. See, the first one
Second
is
one is
you assume, you say like customer instead of customer constraint. For now, you say like customer master. Okay, customer master.
customer master. Okay.
This is from purchase. This is customer master.
But
This is
how
customer
this
purchase.
checks when you run this when you run the customer purchase, how this checks in the customer master file?
Yeah. That is what I'm saying. I didn't create. That is the purpose of the DBMS written a program. They have written a program saying that. So that is what the definition says. You see, like here, when you see the definition of these two tables, let me bring both the tables together. Control Z, Control C. So the checking happens internally. Okay, that is the program written. So you see, like customer ID in the customer master or customer constraint as a primary key. Now here customer purchase table, I need to say this is the foreign key. Foreign key always will refer the primary key of any other table. So foreign key references, I mentioned customer control, customer ID. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Here you need to define. That is why I mentioned. Okay, so this will be internally taken care by the TBMS. That is the program it controls. That is a software duty to check. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
but
Nagi,
still
in
we
the
need to.
customer,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, Raghav. Go
in the
ahead.
customer purchase table, like you have given the
Hmm.
foreign key like customer ID, and it's a primary
Hmm.
key. Whereas if you have
No,
given like customer name,
no. 1 minute. So in
yeah,
the customer purchase table, customer
mm,
ID is not a primary key.
no, in the customer constraint, it's a primary key.
Yeah.
Yeah, where have you have given in the foreign key, like at last you have given the main ID is customer ID. So if I have given there the customer name like that means it's not, it will not work, right?
It will not pick up. It will not pick up.
Yeah,
See,
there
it
your
will
customer
always
ID, right?
references to. It will always reference to a primary key only. So you,
Okay,
whatever you defined as a primary key in another table, that column only you need to queue. You can have a unique value instead of customer ID. You have
okay,
Aadhaar card. Okay, that is
yeah,
fine. But whatever you define in this table as a primary key, that only you need to refer here. That is a
okay.
thumb rule. There is no clarification. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So the another important purpose is like people always maintain like the disadvantages of a file system, as I said. So assume like you maintain the customer information in this one file and the purchases in another file. What will happen if you lose some information somewhere? You are losing here or you are losing here. Let me tell you, let us delete this guy, try to delete the customer master Kumar from Bangalore. What happens? So any guess what happens now? Is that mute please? Okay, delete from this guy customer ID. So I want to delete customer ID 3. Okay, you see the data once again so that it will be clear to you. So here I want to delete this guy, but this guy already have a transaction over here. Okay, delete from customer master or customer constraint. It says like the delete statement conflicted with reference constraint foreign key, because unless you delete the related information, the foreign key information, the master information won't be deleted. Okay, because once you delete this guy, this will not become any meaning because it always referencing this value. So when you keep on referencing it, okay, if it will not allow you to delete. But when you delete this guy, then you come and delete this guy, then it will happen. So always it should flow from this direction. Okay, from foreign key you need to delete, then only your master information to be deleted. Let us try that one. customer purchase. Okay, now when I delete from purchase, it will delete. Then so earlier it threw error, now it got deleted. So these kinds of rules and the constraints will make you to maintain your data integrity. Okay, now it got deleted, cleared off. I hope I'm clear, guys. So with this note, we'll stop about constraints. Let's focus more on other modules now. You guys have any doubts? I'll give a minute. Otherwise, I'll move on to next topic.
So Nagendran, primary key in a table, there is only one primary key can be, but we can include
Yes.
more number of columns. Whereas
Yes,
in
exactly.
foreign key, we can add too many foreign keys.
Yeah. Yes. In a single table, you can have multiple foreign keys, because a foreign key is nothing but, see, you can create this product master. You can see that biscuit is repeated. That's why I desperately put biscuit 2 times. So you see, like, this customer also will purchase a biscuit. This customer also will purchase a biscuit. Okay. So you assume you have another table for product. Okay. And this product is maintained as, I mean, primary key. Then you can have multiple foreign keys in a single table. No issues.
Okay. So primarily
So
foreign key
this
can be
is one.
used in customer ID or phone number.
Yes, yes.
In those scenarios, we can
Yes,
use it.
yes, yes. Exactly. So in this definition, you assume like you have another table like product master. So here you need to define it as foreign key references while declaring. So these things you need to be very careful while designing. Okay, all these things comes when you're designing product master, product ID or product name. Okay, something like this. This table doesn't exist, that's why it throw error. Now you see customer ID, foreign key references customer master or customer constraint customer ID, product varchar, foreign key references product master product ID. Like this you need to define. So as to summarize, a table can have only one primary key, and the primary key can have multiple columns. On contrast, a foreign key will reference any of the other primary keys, and single table can have multiple foreign keys. Okay. Now another point I want to touch here is, you see like customer purchase table, I'm inserting only customer ID, product, quantity, and price. Okay. So each time when I do a insert, there is something automatically one counter is increasing. That is your row ID. You see 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18. Something I deleted 3 rows. So in between 3 rows gone. So 18. When I do some other insert like this, I can do another insert also. This guy again came. The customer again he can come. Okay, the store. So again he came. Now you see 1920. This is, I mean, 1920. These two records got inserted now. Okay. So 1, 2. He initially it was the case. Now again he came for the shop and he purchased a biscuit and paste again. So 1920. So this number I have not specified anywhere in my insert statement. Okay, insert statement. So to auto increment some values based on the incremental values, it is similar to a default. Default, what it will do, always it will stamp a single value. So I want each time one row to be incremented. So for that, a function name called identity. Identity 1, 1. So in Oracle we have sequence 1, 1, something like that. Okay. So it is a function you need to specify, meaning that begin from 1, increment by 1. If I do increment by 2, then it will go, see the sequence follows like this, 1, 2, 3. Here, if I say, for example, 3, 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, something like that. Keep on adding from the last whatever the digits it were there. So this is the purpose of your identity column. Any doubts in this identity? No? Okay, guys. Let's move on to the next topic. We have touched a little bit about this. I mean, queries, stop, distinct, null. We will see some of the string and arithmetic functions. Actually, I thought of taking joins, but today I think Varun has not joined. Varun also wants to learn joins. So let us focus more on these functions. Tomorrow I'll take up the joins. So now we will stick to one table. Okay. Let us have yesterday's the big table that we have shown, so that we can have multiple functions together. Customer again. Okay, fine. So now yesterday we saw about some of the operators, simple operators in the where condition that we assigned. Now I'm going to work on some of the functions that we have to use. Always we need to have, it is not as simple as that whatever you store. So say for example, sometimes you may require only the characters from before this @ symbol. If you see here from the email, I want to extract only this guy. I want to extract before that part, this part alone. So you need to work on some kind of functions. You need to impose certain rules to it. So let us have a very simple example now. We can come to this extraction of the part before this @ symbol. Now, I want from the email, I want first 4 letters always to be written, okay, as an output. What you need to do? Let us have, we need to have only 2 columns now. I will have email address, other columns I will remove. Select email address. Uh, see, when you have output like this, so your window, you can switch between these 2 options: results to grid, results to text, results to grid. Okay. Now, what I want is now, I want first 4 letters from this email. So there is a function called substring of your email address, which column you need to specify, comma 1, comma 4. So 1 is your beginning of your character, I mean starting point, and 4 is your length. So if I select like this, I got John 2, ego each, something like that. But I don't have, it says like no column. So to give a new column, so it is like a derived column. This is your actual column, which always have a column header. And whatever you're deriving, you need to specify some column name. So I will say first 4 char or small email, something like that. Okay. So this is nothing but your alias name. Alias name is nothing but, in going forward your queries, you can use this name as a reference. That is what alias name. For this table also I can have alias name called short name, something like this. So this is going forward, instead of specifying the entire name, I can use this cust. This is your alias name, short name. You cannot say short name, it's alias. Instead of this, you use this name for reference. Now it says no column. Now it says small email. So this has came with a small email. So this is very simple function using strings. So you got the idea, guys. Like you cannot have just a simple table. Always you need to use appropriate functions. The requirements are very different. So now you have a lower, upper, R trim, L trim, string, split. So simple as that. Now you want everything to be upper, lower. So these are Excel functions. You remember, guys, everything is available in Excel. Whoever worked in Excel, they're aware of it. So I'm doing it for only single column. It is not mandatory you need to work for a single column. Everything turned into caps upper. So you can use another column also. So each column you can derive, but everything works row by row. For each row, the appropriate column, it will work. So say for example, I need to concatenate these three columns, first name, last name, middle name. I just use plus symbol. So everything is a string, then these three will be combined. If it is a numeric to string concatenation, it will throw error. You see, everything is joined. John V. Young. So this guy doesn't have a name at all. No, this guy has, see, another beautiful thing we got now. So this guy is written with null. So meaning that this guy doesn't have a name.
That guy doesn't have a middle name.
Come again?
That guy doesn't have a middle name.
Oh, you saw the output, or you were telling it?
No, I saw the input.
Oh yes, you saw the data before. Okay. You see here another interesting thing to discuss. Like these guys, these two guys had all the three. So you got the output. So something added with the null, concatenated with null, then it becomes null, guys. So null plus anything is null. Null into anything is null. So null is very tricky. So what to do in this case? Any guess? I need to add all the three. So what I need to do if some column is null? So always first name, last name is make it as not null. But middle name, some people have, some people don't have. So if it is a null, what I need to do? I need to insert an empty character here. So in database level, you cannot add in empty character. So while giving the full name, what I need to do? I am saying, instructing this, if is null, this guy is null, okay, is null of this particular column, then have some empty character, or you say hyphen. Okay, so Ruben hyphen Taurus. For these guys, there won't be any hyphen. Okay, just for your understanding, I usually put like this, empty character, so you will not find a difference. That's why I'm putting hyphen now. Now you see, this is the column we are deriving full name. So it's like a magic, guys. It's like you playing a game. You can play with this data. Usually we will say like that. We will play with data. So you see the difference here. So like this, you need to learn a lot of functions, when to use, what functions appropriately it will be used, how to handle it. So most of the time we will face like that. If we will ask, give the full name, then we will give the entire thing without checking these things. So just check your output is correct. If it is wrong, then you need to use appropriate function, how to fix this. These rules you need to know. Okay. Let's have a look at some other functions. At index, length, different, char index. Okay, char index is an interesting function. So now I want to find where this at indicates. Some people will ask, you assume there is some feedback given, and some people say like this particular string I want to find. Some bird words or something, some negative reviews there, where it was there. I mean, at what character it was there, something like that. You need to find some hyphen or some special characters that where it exists. Okay, you need to find that one. So I use this at where this at exists. So for that, char index, character index, you put comma, expression. Expression means you give that email address. Maybe I'm not sure. It can be before and after. I mean, either you should specify the which character you are searching for. I want to search for at, and it says like you need to find the syntax. I'm not sure about the syntax. I can't remember. Just I'll see. Expression, and start location. You can start looking from fifth character. You can start looking from first character. Let's say like for John 1, 2, 3, 4. See this guy. It is at right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it should return 6. For this guy, it should return more than 10 or 20. Say I will put 1 here. Index. It is other way around. If it is not coming like this, then quickly I will change. So first character is what to search. Next, oh sorry, this should not be a quotes. It should be okay. Let us try a column. This is the column input. Okay. Yes. So at is sixth character here, and here it is ninth character and eighth character. When I say like start searching from 10th character, or here, or maybe 8 characters, when I change it to 8, these two will return 0. I mean, this will return 0, this will return 1, or maybe let us see how it works. See, this doesn't find at all, because I'm saying start the search from the 8 characters. So from here there is not symbol. So here it is start from 8, but it returns 9 only. So 8, and immediately it finds next character, it's 9. Okay, so these are the scenarios it will come in your work life. So where you need to appropriate functions, when to search. So skip 5 characters, then start searching from the 10th character. So all those things, you no need to write a big logics and all. Everything is predefined. You need to go and search here, find appropriate functions. What are the different functions available? Then you will do it. That's all. Okay. So let's start with some of the functions with
Nagendra, finally you gave this INDX, right?
Index, just alias name.
Okay, fine. So just an example, if say if email address, I just want to retrieve only the at wherever for this email address we are saying at. If suppose if anything we have some unique data, and
I
somehow
want
the rows which
Hmm.
doesn't have the unique data, in those cases I need to retrieve only those unique data, and wherever it's not available, it can be zero or whatever null or something. In those cases, how to retrieve?
No. Can you refine your question? I mean, it is little
No, email
confusing.
address, we can say at is a unique. Okay, so I need to retrieve only the at wherever it's available.
I mean, you're saying I want to retrieve only the at symbol over here, right? You need
Yes.
to write a combination of functions. Okay, so let me write that query. It will take maybe at least 30 seconds. Okay, so you tell me the logic how to find. So in this case, you are saying in some cases you have that symbol at the 6th position. Okay, you are having the at symbol at the 6th position. You can able to find the position of the at symbol using this char index. Now I want that particular character, okay, in this position. So this should be the input of another function. Similarly, what we did here, substring is input to the length function. So now I need character index of this particular at, and I need the character in that particular position. Okay, it is again we can use substring here. I think so. Substring of this will return the 6th position, right? So this is the starting position of the substring. Okay, so substring,
Okay.
what it will do is, so in this position you need to give this input, and how many characters you want? Only one character.
Yes.
That's the thing. So it's just a programmatic approach how you work. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So we need to use a substring.
Substring combination, it depends based on the scenario, based on your requirement. Your requirement is now I want at symbol and using this. If I use 2 characters, 3 characters, I mean 3 characters from the at symbol, I can get next 3 characters.
Okay. Is
So
there any like
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know whether it's in Microsoft SQL or not. So similarly, we used to give right like equal to this.
Yeah, like percentage. Yeah. I'll come to that. In where condition we can use those things. So it's not like a like here. Like is used for something else. I will come to that where condition now. So I want to cover some more functions in integer. Then I'll go to like and where conditions. What are the other combinations? Okay. So I don't think okay, math functions. So all the functions, like any programming language, whatever programming languages you use, those things will automatically applicable here. So what I'm trying to tell you is, let us save this guy as string functions. Scripts. String function, maybe functions I'll say. Okay. So everything you can work only with your table. So there is no way of working anything else. We'll have a PLSQL there. You can have a little bit of programming. I don't have any decimal values here. Going back to our module here, because we have some decimal values here. No way. Why? 28 comma decimal numeric. I'll try to fix that one. Let's have okay, so let's have some addition. You want to add these two, just this column plus this column. You can add it like this. So if it is a string to string, then concatenation will happen. Then if it is a numeric, then your addition will happen. So this 1 comma 1 house owner flag. This should not be summed up. We don't know. Just I'm saying. So So this will return only the values after addition. So just you need to ensure whether it's correct or not. So keep those columns before doing the calculated column, computed column. So it's like 1 plus 0 is 0, 1 plus 1 is 2. So you are returning a correct values. So simple addition, subtraction, arithmetic operations using a row by row, you can use this one. Okay. So all other mathematical functions also you can compute. Wait, logical function. Choose and are not required. These are not for us. Okay. Now let's focus on where condition you set. Like, so now you have here select star from dim customer. You ask like where condition. So when it starts from. So if you say like where English education equal to, you need to desperately specify bachelor's, then you need to specify equal to symbol here. But most of the time we are not sure what is the spelling over here, whether it contains a proper value. You need to search in appropriate approximation. So in that case you can choose like it starts with b, then you need to say percentage means it can have any values after that. So whichever starts with b, all the things will come. Let me put distinct here as we seen yesterday. Distinct English education, bachelor's only. So when we say c, no English education starts with c. Let us see. Now you have partial high school and partial college. So when I put here that starts with p, partial, okay, both the things will come. Okay, my spelling is correct, wrong, partial, only these two will come. So when I say like little bit further, I want only starts with c. It can be a college or high school, only c will come. Take some time, only c is coming. I'm excluding the h. So this is the way how it works. Now I want in between the text with the common, okay, that contains o in any of the values. I mean in between any of the text. Like what I'm trying to say is I want the English education where it contains a text like o anywhere, o. So you need to put percentage before, percentage after. So o, wherever it is, it will pick it up. So it excluded some other part, like if you see here, and graduate degree doesn't have o, so it excluded it. It brought me 4 cases. So this is very important function like condition that we use. Okay. Yesterday we saw about R. I mean yesterday our previous classes. I mean uncondition. Let's say like I have a male gender and who is having a salary of 8,000. And what about when I have a male, or he can be married or unmarried? You should use R condition also. So whatever functions you use and or, you understand the difference between and or, right? If say like m and s, so it should be m equal to s, and m and s should be there in this both the columns. And if you say m r s, here m and r s means it will pick up all the m's here, all the s's here. In this case, let me take Excel. The difference between and or, I don't think you need to work both on this. Let's say male, female here, and use have yes and t values. So the possible combination of these two is nothing but your, I will repeat this guy twice. Okay, here also yes, here also t and t. Okay, so uncondition means I say like m and s, only this row is returned. When I say m or yes, okay, here it's a gender, it says like status, you consider status. When I say gender and gender equal to m and status equal to yes, then this will return only this row. Okay, m and s, and means it should match, this also should match. If I say like m or s, gender equal to m, so this will return this record because of this is true, and this will return this record because this is true. Then it comes with, it checks status is yes, and obviously this is true because of this reason and this reason, and this will also return this record. So it will return 1, 2, 3 records. So this is the difference between R and AND. So you need to be very careful while choosing AND condition and OR condition. Okay. So for each column, it will keep on adding a true or false based on that, either one of the true, then it will go. It's a generic, I mean, we have studied in some trigonometry or mathematics. It's mathematics rules. Okay. I hope you got the point. Let us try one. Equal to m. I'll put R Mauritian, status equal to yes. So this brought me both m and yes. See, now you see like here I have brought f also. Why? Because this becomes true. This is m. I want male gender only, but this, for this condition it becomes true, and for this also true. And if I say and, so all the records drastically increase 4085. Okay, got the point, guys. So this is the crucial thing, where in where condition you can have multiple combination, you always go for and or equal to and any greater symbol. Even you can have these functions, char index of these functions. You say like what it will return, it will return at right. So you say like see guys, what I'm trying to say is, why so here you have a trait, same function also I can have, I mean you can write a function also over here, let it be like this, and I want whichever character having at. If you say like you find some other characters, that character alone you want, then you can get. So same 4085. If I change the symbol to something else like star or 8 star, I will put, it will not return any of my record. Okay, So it's like how you execute each row, it will go and check whether this condition is passed, this condition is passed, and after returning whether this condition is passed. So either you can use the functions in select class or in the var class, it doesn't matter. Okay guys, with this I'll stop here. Anything